Shadow got more play here than the Sharks do.
More players.
So does be an extra 15 minutes.
What?
Be an extra 15 minutes.
You're okay.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, he's older.
But they only got the one Zamboni. And you got 3 rinks.
That's not right. They should get another one. All that money that they're getting here.
Maybe another one of those.
What?
So maybe another one of those. And buy another one of those. Well, everybody, we are getting set here for a giant matchup. The Michigan Shadow, one more time, visit on the road. John Hunter with you with the solo caller in the red rank alongside the Go Live Sportscast. The Shadow are 12-4 on the year. The Sharks are 12-3-1. They are 1 point ahead in the MIHL South standings, and they are tied with the Kalkaska Kings for the best record in the MIHL. So you know what's at stake tonight. It's a battle for first place in the MIHL South. This is going to be an intriguing matchup. Again, I wrote in the part for sending the link out. We'll see which way it goes. If I have my wits about me here, this has got to be a game that's going to be decided by 2 goals or less. The Waterford Sharks are coming off of losses in 2 of the last 3 games. They got stopped by the Muskegon Voyagers and they lost 6-3 when you caught us last week with the Skeleton Crew on Sunday against the Kalkaska Kings. So they need to respond in a big way. Waterford is 2-0-1 in this season series. There'll still be one more game in this building before they close off Friday, March 20th at Big Boy, and then Saturday, March 21st here. That birthday game for the Sharks really need to take a full 2 points. That's what they have to do right now. They got to make a statement here against a team that's already kind of caught them at this point. They're going to catch them if they get the full 2 points today. They're not in the rearview mirror. They're stalking you right in front. The Shadow actually have an extra player on the roster today. The Sharks have one less. It's Theo Rowell, Tim Schmidt, Sam Gagnon, Adam Kuhn, James Briers, Josh Ramish, Josh Osuntowski, Sean Pilat, Zach Zokanich, Ryan Rotondi. Jamison Mayam, Paul Arnott, Michael Clintworth, Cody Oakes, and Mike Moroso will be your defense. And Ryan Smith going to start tonight. Elijah Gibbons will back him up. I'll get in the Sharks lineup in a moment.
And now for your Waterford Sharks. Number 3, Aaron Shaheen. Number 2, Cole Halgamo. Number 71, Spencer Bowman. On D, number 6, Theo Goody. Number 76, Nick Redmond. And in net number 31, Jake Willem. May you all please rise for the play of our national anthem.
So the lineups for the Sharks are as follows. Cole Halgamo, Aaron Shaheen, Isaac Gibbs, Nolan Baldrika draws back in the lineup. Josh Hill, Kieran Carlisle, Hunter Keppel, Andrew Polosha. Michael Redmond's going to wear number 7. And on defense, number 76 will be Nick Redmond. Chris Donaldson, Nick Papandrea, Theo Goody, Jake Prober, Spencer Bowman. Again, George Holt was suspended a couple of games with an incident after against the Kalkaska Kings where things got a little bit too rough for my taste. probably for the Sharks as well. Again, you have to concentrate on the task at hand tonight. Nothing else and nothing more. Jacob Gillum going to get the start in net today. Rogalong's actually going to back him up. So no Ian Morton, no Justin Yoakum today for the Sharks. Again, an extra forward being carried by the Shadow. So that is going to tell you everything they need to know. They got their group at full power here at this point. And we know what's at stake today. A battle for first place in the MIHL North. If the Sharks win, they will have tied again the best record, depending on what happens with the Kalkaska Kings, I believe, are active today. After the first intermission, when we come back into the second, I will give you an update from a recent interview done from Sam Gagnon and Jack Hudak. I'll also post that on Hopeless Sports Guy with the coverage at the end of it as well. And in the second intermission, I will give you an update on yours truly, let you know what's been going on with me, and give you a medical update as well. I will be battling through injury for the rest of the year, but we won't be missing any broadcasts. So, be a lot to do. Again, the NHL is in the part of the Olympic break. We won't have any Olympic Milan Korša updates for the men's hockey, but we will next week. I'll have some of those Wednesday, Thursday morning at 10:30 next week before the Muskegon Voyagers game on Saturday at 5:30 when they visit in the Red Rink at Lakeland Arena. So a little bit delayed because we had all the rinks playing hockey here, and now we get the puck drop. Shadow going to get possession. Again, they're in the road whites with the red pants and the black top. It'll be the Sharks in their typical Boomer jerseys with the white, orange, and black pants in the part of the striping with Boomer. As this is Gagnon now. He gets away from the puck as this one is dumped in and then immediately out of play right at 1940. So I'm going to give you those typical call-outs per usual. I imagine the score, Chiron, and everything else is back to normal from the last part of the Sunday, but force a habit there. We'll be able to give you all these calls. Thought we were going to take a ozone draw here for the Shadow, but they're going to back it up. At least in through the neutral zone. So Spencer Bowman going to get some time at C. Don't normally see him take a ton of draws. Helgamo trying to chase for a good stick chop there for Spencer. And Goody content to throw it in. Again, a new netminder for the Michigan Shadow today, number 29, Ryan Smith. So we'll get a chance to see what ends up happening with him. Zolkanich off the rush. As this will be sticked away, Gagnon send it back into the corner. That is where Bowman is. Here's a race now. Shaheen on a one-on-one. Toe drag, and his backhand misses the net. And then he gets smoked on the right side, too. Redmond now trying to throw it in the corner. Lost his balance, lost the puck. Shadow now have numbers. If they can get this one, I got Giuliano on the off wing. Just too far for Gagnon there. Kieran Carl out. Left side wing takes a long shot. This one will get solved in the corner. And Smith almost lost an edge on those blades. Watch that early. Looks very tall in behind net for the Shadow. Picked up now. And the right side end boards off the drop pass. Good save out in front. My goodness there for Gillum. He had to be on his P's and Q's. Picked up now Polosha. Polosha long shot in and out of the glove of Smith. No rebound. As that one shoved in the corner. That was circumvented nicely against the glass. Shadow with it. Nice move in between some skate blades and off the lift there as it's sent back around the end boards. Contact there for Riursi. This will go back to Kuhn. Send this to the right side. Too far for Giuliano. And the Sharks will start again. Opportunity now for Donaldson. As this is rimmed in behind the end boards. Sharks will get it. Try to go for a drop pass, and that was easily read. Shadow take a loft toward the right side. Jake Prober thought he might touch that puck, but this will go back to the Sharks. They're going to look to start right to left. And off the back pass, this will be sauced in out of the air. Opportunity for Michael Redmond. Again, he's wearing different numbers every part of the week, so I got to get used to that with number 7 as this is sent in behind the end boards. Keppel try to chase for a moment. Prober pinches, leads to a one-on-one. Papandreou, he got dragged. Backhand, that one goes in behind the net looking for a wrapper opportunity, and the Sharks will smoke it off the glass. That will be an icing against Waterford, but some surreal skill that we've seen already inside of about 3 minutes. Glad to get back here with you on the call with this next set of 3 weeks. Again, Kalkaska took a 6-3 victory last week against the Sharks. They won big against the Alpena 45ers in the Frozen Fish fiasco, but 2 of the last 3, and as a loss, is a sour taste in their mouth. As it's flipped around the end boards for Mike Redman. Papandrea will gain the entry across the White Wing side. Turnaround shot will go off the stick blade of Smith, and the first 3 minutes have expired in a scoreless game. This is a battle for first in the MIHL South, and if the Sharks do win, they can keep pace. If not, the Shadow will catch them completely. They're only 1 point behind. If we get any sort of OT shootout, that's when things will get a little more complicated. If the Sharks would lose that, they'd be tied in the standings in the South. But you really want to make this game close enough. Goody giving a couple taps there and alongside with the fans against the glass. Hopefully they got that shot. This is right up the gut. In between the skate blades. Be dropped away for Schmidt. Got to check back on side if you're the Shadow there. As Vermeech will get this one down the ice. Thankful that he was able to share alongside the broadcast links today and alongside for the Shadow as well, as that one was a one-timer that was just missed. You got Nick Redmond back there. Gillum will take a look. Schmidt will now try to chase this puck into the right side corner. Theo Goody pries it loose as it goes to the right side of the end boards. Goes in between a couple skate blades, trying to lead pass there for Goody. He'll get it. Right side wing, Theo shoots. And this will be deflected left side boards. Picks it up now, Goody on the backhand, and not held in there for the Sharks. Nolan Baldrika, good to see him draw back in the lineup. Second most goals in behind Andrew Polsha. One-timer, fought off into the corner there. Sharks try to throw it in front. Here is another chance there off the blade of Smith from Donaldson. Sharks try to keep this one in, and that's got to be a penalty called. Shadow, they're going to have to deal with the disadvantage here at 15:44. Baldrika slow to get up. He spun around like a top. So the one thing you want to mention for the Waterford Sharks last week, if I didn't enough, Kalkaska Kings got a couple of power play goals in that 6-3 victory. Sharks had, I think it was, 7 chances all the way across the board, notwithstanding 4-on-4 and things like that, but they did not score with the specialty teams. Didn't give anything up shorthanded, but they've got to finish tonight against the Shadow if they want to get a W. Plain as day. Josh Hill can't win the draw, and this will be sent back down to Gillum. No problem stopping it with the stick blade as he met it near the right post. Papandrea, he was putting on his skating shoes last week. He'll have to take it end to end. He's looking to try to do so now. Little rimmer on the boards from the left wing side is Keppel. Good pressing against the glass. Redmond fans on it. And this will be kept in by the Sharks. Hill, good move. Try to buy some space and he kissed the glass instead in the left side corner. $1:25 thereabouts left in the first power play of the game. Papandrea trying to play puck possession off the pass, and they met near the left for Smith. So I'll try to have my ends about me as far as Ryan Smith in his first game with the Shadow that I'm aware of. Again, he'd have to go on Elite Prospects and follow that journey pool all the way across the board. Again, you have Shadow members, you have Motor City Rockers, Port Huron Prowlers, a little bit all the way across the board, little FPHL, APHL experience. These guys have been all around the board. They've been physical, dominant, tons of skill, and they're brought in together to try to win a championship this year. That's what they want to do, the Michigan Shadow. They send him behind the end boards now and cleared out. Good stick battle there for the Shadow. He's just able to get it away. It forced the Sharks to escape in their own end. Kieran Carlisle will watch now toward the right side wing as this puck will get flipped back in. Here's an opportunity right in the middle of the slot. Cross pass, scores! Power play for the Sharks at 14:32. They draw first blood, and that had to happen with the man advantage. They started well on Sunday against the Kings. They took a 2-0 lead until they lost 6-3. Spencer Bowman gave them a 3-2 lead at one point in the second, but they were going to have to continue to press here, and you have to get shots on a goaltender that you're not familiar with if you are the Sharks. as this is sent back in behind the end board. It's not to say that Smith doesn't have a ton of experience. You also got Gibbons in their back end as the former Shark. You see that banner in the right wing corner? He's a big part of that a couple of seasons ago. So 14-10 left to go in the first. Sharks have a 1-0 lead on the power play. That one had to be called, so there really isn't any speculation to be put other than that as it goes toward the left side. Dot Bowman going to get set to take it. And off the tie-up, this is one off the spin. It's tipped in front of a Prober chance and then fired wide on a backhand. Smith was never in the crease as the 6 minutes have expired in the opening frame. Good outstretched pass there for the Shadow. Be able to get this one toward the right wing side. Here's a chance right up the gut. Sharks force a steal. Helgamo now off the rush. Here's a flip pass, and that one just missed. Got everybody out of their seat. He had Shaheen with him as Gillum will smoke it into the corner. Here's a turnaround. 61-16, Pelosha and Carlisle. Shadow dangerous with possession. This bounces off the stick blade of Gillum and then solved. And we're going to get a little bit of pushing here. Prober didn't like it. Number 20, I'm trying to see a jersey number for the Shadow. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. And again, you know how I like to make these calls as neutral as possible, even though working for the Sharks. You don't want to get involved with the extracurricular if you're Waterford here, because as soon as that starts to be the brass tacks of the day, that's when the Shadow will find a way to get themselves back in the game and maybe win by multi-goals, 4 or 5. You can't have that loss of focus that you had against Kalkaska last week, because the Shadow are too good. Sent back around now, Mayhem. Good stick chop there. What a battle as it goes in the corner there alongside Michael Redmond. Mayhem, again, he's been up and down Michigan. I think he was about 42 years of age, Sam Gagnon said. All sorts of experience. That's what you're going to get on this Shadow team. As it's sent in toward the right side boards. Funneled at the net. Hill will fire it wide. Kept in here for Nick. Fake the slap pass. Now he lets it go. Fired it way wide against Smith. Way out of the goal crease here. Goes back to Gillum. Almost lost it in between his skate blades. Got to get rid of it quickly. Smoking near the right side glass. Redmond. Arnott finishes his check into the right side boards. I'm going to look and see where puck possession is. It's still in that corner. Paul's got it now. Shoots it. This one deflected off the blade of Gillum. And here's a long flip down the ice. Back across now for Tim Schmidt. Theo Goody finishes his check. Again, Tim, no stranger to the physical contact as well. None of these Shadow are. Here's a chance and off the rush for Redmond. Good touch for Pelosha. Pelosha, he's submerged into the left side corner. That's where my blind spot is, but Goal Live's going to pick that up as it goes back to Donaldson. He's content to throw it in from 100. Sharks lead, if you're just joining us, 1-0. Here's a steal. Gibbs, he snipes it! 2-0. It's where we were last week, but now you got to keep the gas. 11:54. What a shot that was for Isaac Gibbs, even strength. Unless I have my 4 eyes away from me here, I'm going to need to get some new glasses in the summer. That was number 9, Isaac Gibbs. He had a lot of wellness checks to do by that point as well. You got to wait till the season's over. Picked up now across for Riersi. Good touch pass there for Gagnon, but this gets knocked away. As this will be sent back near the right side boards. As this will be flipped back down the ice. Again, you got Donaldson and Pelosha. If it's 4-61 from Gibbs. Good play there near the right side boards for the Shadow, but the Sharks are able to pick it up. This one just out near the right side off the rush. You got Pelosha on the drop. Pelosha rips it. This one goes off the right side of the pad of Smith. Kieran Carlisle got tied up and spun around. 11 minutes left to go in this first. Sharks have a 2-0 lead again. It's bear repeating. That's how it was last week on Sunday against the Kings. But here's Riersi. Long shot. This one will hit the glass and stay at play. Sent back around now. Hill try to push it ahead. But the Sharks will have it. Papandrea He's being forced behind his own net. Couple of forecheckers come after him. Gagnon as well as it's sent in the corner. Mayam on the lurch as Hunter Keppel lost it off the spin. Forced a turnover. Sharks shoot. Hill trying to pick it up now near the left side boards. This goes back to Papandrea. Tip goes wide. Prober on the recollect. Here's a backhand funnel. No look. Sharks stay with it. And this chance gets deflected off a shadow stick. Otherwise it would have been 3-0. Turnaround chance. Smith's got that. Sharks playing very well here inside of this first 10 minutes. I do see the sense of urgency I was waiting for in that stream link. Again, all I said was, I have a feeling this game might go one way. Let's see if it does. Right now it feels that way with tons and tons of time left. We're not even outside the first 10 minutes. Back pass. As this will get picked up now for Adam Kuhn leading off the rush. He gets taken out of the zone and then loses it to Theo Goody. Goody now finds the entry. Good way to avoid the puck contact there. Shaheen will now send this one to the corner. Sharks circumvent, play near the left side of the net. Bowman didn't know where it was, got turned around as we're past the first 10 minutes of the opening frame. Good touch pass there, but Jonathan Giuliano will watch this one get flipped back into the corner. Smith can't clear it out. This turnaround will hit the glass. Giuliano pick it up now on the back skate and then take a big hit. It's been a good physical game here for the Sharks, much better from this first set of 10 than it ever was against the Kings on that front. Sent back around the inboards for an ice against Michigan. They cannot change. 9:22 left to go in the opening frame. Goals from Polsha and Gibbs. Polsha got a couple of points so far in this game. Goal and an assist. When 61 and 16 ignite, it would be the same way for Riursi and Gagnon. Now, Riursi's got 51 apples on the year, 4 goals. He's doing the Connor McDavid special as far as setup man. Gagnon is the goal scorer for the Shadow, but it can be everybody. It's not just done by committee. 23 goals, 26 assists, 49 points. Carlisle, went off the stick play. Would have been offside anyway for Pilette. Long outstretched pass. Believe did touch one of the Sharks, so that will not be iced. Shadow now look to go left to right. Here's a good avoidance there. Cody Oakes. He'll find the entry now. Loves to skate on his backhand. Drive toward it. Canceled off. It's loose. Here's a chance at the net. Rebound, score. And look who set it up again from that start. You know, I always talk about it with Frank when he has those shadow calls. It's Cody Oakes. And he loves to skate it on the backhand across the wing and create pressure. And every time he does, it seems to end up in the back of the net if you're the opposition. I don't think that's a surprise. So we'll get the numbers on there, hopefully announced by Zach. If not, we'll look those up online. But Cody Oakes are definitely going to get an apple. This is 66, 27, and 19. That is Pilette with the goal alongside Austin Towski and Cody Oakes. So Cody Oakes going to get the secondary, but again, that play does not start without him, and that's why the Shadow are back within a goal. Get a neutral zone draw here. My name's John Ott. I'm your play-by-play man in the Red Rink at Lakeland Arena. Again, I like to say that the Shadow love to talk about Lakeland as the frozen tundra. I'm always prepared with a couple extra sweaters in the cough drops, so it is what it is when you're near the ice side. Again, I was in Lakeshore Sports Center as this one hit Smith up in the air when the Sharks were able to win a couple seasons ago and then lose from Chris Hawkins. And being on the ice level and inside the penalty box, nothing's colder than that. That will never be beat. As this is picked up near the left side for Redmond. And now Schmidt run up Anglet. Nice sauce pass out of the air. Michael Clintworth partially fans on it. Players come together. We'll see if Clintworth will find it again. Don't think we're going to get a penalty call at 7:41, but lots of action. Shadow look not bothered at all from trailing 2-0. Oakes with the secondary, Sean Pilette gets the opening goal for the Shadow, and it's a 2-1 game now. All-important D-zone draw, and we'll see who takes it. Zexel Kanich win this one back from Mayam. Rister tipped. That was a good save out in front, and a really good design there for the Shadow. As this goes back and home the end boards, no icing, but a good slap pass might get things started. Across the left wing, hit the glass and gain the entry. Zolkanich, he is a bruising power forward, number 72. He can do it all. He's got the puck now, and near the right side boards, off the drop. I think that was Oakes that was trying to jump to keep it in. And a race for the puck now for Redmond. All sorts of commotion here going across the red rink as the Sharks try to find it in between the circles. I'm not sure where that puck went, but I think it's out of play. I couldn't see anything. It looked like a Black Friday Mall phone booth there in the mix between the Sharks and Shadow right near the slot. Shadow have done a good job covering that so far in this period. If not, the Sharks would have been leading 3-0 at the time. And off the back pass there, Carlisle wins it. This will go D to D. Goody's going to let it go through the screen. It's a fight at the net, and this will be underneath the Shadow netminder, Smith. Just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the amount of fisticuffs and potential that you see. Again, I'm not saying it's going to go to 0 to 100 really quickly here, but I just want to be mindful again that the Sharks need to stay away from that and concentrate on getting 2 points. Shadow, again, as we said, only 1 point back in the standings. Don't need to do much. You already feel like they can already chase. Good shot there and off the end. They have no problems going out and winning this game outright by multiple goals. I think it's the Sharks that need to keep more of a mental edge. As this is a play at the net, and reaching behind him was Smith. He's got it at 6:37. Might as well say this here. I know I was going to leave it for the first intermission, but the On the Spot Sports Podcast with Jack Hudak, the former Muskegon be able to check that one out on the Spot Sports. I'm going to link that at Hopeless Sports Guy when that's done. But he talked about the experience with the Shadow in the MIHL, the FPHL with the Motor City Rockers, some of the stuff with the Port Huron Prowlers, and maybe what's at stake this year and maybe possibly going forward for the Shadow and the Rockers as well. Make sure you check that one out. It was a really good interview. Sam did a great job. As this is flipped back in behind the end boards. And Shadow now get this one started left to right. Riursi, good flip pass. This is a chance up there. Giuliano goes off the stick blade. Giuliano picks it up. We'll send this one back and around the horn. Sharks now try to find it off the rush. Good forecheck here for the Shadow. And Riursi going to let this one go as much as he can. 5:35 left to go on the first. It's a 2-1 lead for the Sharks. Polosha a goal and an assist. Cody Oakes a secondary from a Sean Pillette goal. As it's Prober. He can't stop it with the blade. You got Theodore Rowell, at least chasing enough. As this goes back and then stick out towards center ice. That's where Prober is. He'll go cross ice to Papandrea. And sent back down. Sharks did not gain the red line. Looking for those breakout passes, and the Shadow have it pretty well defended at this point. Again, I didn't mark all of the stats out in front of me, but if you look on it, as far as MIHL Hockey Shift, Shadow have done a good job updating all of their stats from game to game, being on top of everything. This is a goal-scoring team by committee, but also one, again, in Gagnon and Riursi that continue to just bring the pain. It's like a twister, constant shades of offense. Good contact near the left side, and now a little bit more. Redmond got hit. And I was turning around there for Hunter Keppel to see his face. We'll see what will be called. There was a thunderous contact near right where the doors would be. And I want to see who gets what. You got one of the Sharks that are down as I'm looking toward the right wing side of my attention there. Theo Goody on a knee. Is there anyone else down and alongside with Goody? Jake Prober, the assistant captain of the Sharks, who I was just able to say hi to before this game started, I think is the guy that's down on the right side. That is not good news because for Jake and the rest of the Sharks, that's brotherhood alongside everyone else, but Jake is one of the founding fathers of this team, the Highland, Michigan native. It's a good applause there alongside the Shadow and Sharks fans there as well. And is Jake moving around on the right side? Hopefully so. Looks like a minor penalty right now. Sharks have scored on the power play, but my attention, especially toward the second now, will be for Jake. That's unfortunate. And not leading at all with the Sharks being down a defenseman. Jake is a heart and soul player of this team. Now to the right side boards is Kieran Carlisle. Is just going to be flipped down the ice. Shadow going to want to kill this one this time around. Gillum. And off the leave for Papandrea. See if he'll take this one end-to-end again. That's what he liked to do last time. Here's a pass across the right wing. Kieran Carlisle avoids the bowling pins. Get to Papandrea near the left side and then rimming around the glass. Redmond can't stop it in time as this is sent back around for Nolan Baldrika. Baldrika usually doing the offensive work as he's behind the goal here for Gillum. 4:15 left to go in this first period. Sharks lead by 2-1, but they might be down a defenseman the rest of the game. We'll see what happens with Jake Prober. Cross ice. Sharks stay patient to the right wing side. Pass eludes Carlisle. He fights for it, and it's successfully sent down off the glass by Michigan. Gillum slow it near the left side dot. Gagnon now going to go ahead and provide a forecheck here shorthanded. You got Giuliano with him as the next wave, but this pass goes in between the blade of Hill. Gets on side. No, he is off. 3:42 left to go in the first. I don't think they're going to mind that extra second off the clock. Be a neutral zone draw upcoming. Michael Redmond going to get set to take it. Try to go between his legs there and draw something, but this is successfully sent down the ice. Be slowed down there by Gillum. Sharks kind of look like the Tampa Bay Lightning back in behind their breakouts there. Victor Hedman used to take that long off those breakouts. Donaldson. Circle in behind the net now as this is picked up off the back pass. Number 25 is Joe Gibbs. I don't think I'd circled his name on the sheet, but this one will be flipped back down, but I do believe that is Gibbs' grill that I see back there. 10 seconds left to go in the Sharks' second power play. This one doesn't look as fruitful. Picked up now near the left side for Donaldson. He will skate it in. Right wing side. Donaldson still with a stick drag. This will be off a drop here for Hunter Keppel. He's got it across the right wing and rim it around the end boards. Gibbs will stop at the line. See if he'll pick it up now near the blind spot. He's got it. Joe Gibbs. And off the tip. That one will go wide. Flip back down near the right side. Redmond loses an edge. And the Shadow, if they move quickly, they got numbers. Papandrea trying to join up the back check, and the Shadow took too long to get that one going. 2:29 left to go in the first. So Kanich going to stay out there. Reursi going to play back end D. Again, Spencer Bowman did that for a game, but number 20 can kind of do it all. Again, it really isn't a kind of when I say that. He's one of the most complete players that we have in the league. As this goes toward the right side, Gagnon, this will be a good pass in off the boards. He should be able to get to the retrieval. Try to get a back pass here, and the Sharks will have to work quickly because the forecheck there was Kanich was pretty hot. Gibbs fights through it near the right side boards. Excellent work for Isaac just to be able to get it out. And now this is an entry here. Gagnon backhand powerful there. That was fought off by Gillum, and then he has to leapfrog in a full stretch at 151, but he's got it. More importantly for the Shadow here, it's an ozone draw. So Mike Moroso's number 43. He's one of the shadow, I think that is moved in and out like a revolving door. I don't believe I've seen him yet. Maybe he did play the initial game at Lakeland Arena here. Again, these teams still have 2 more meetings. Only one of them left the big boy on Friday the 20th. Penalty hands in the air. Shadow don't like it, but I saw a lot of contact near the right side boards. Giuliano now, Kuhn, all going over there with the Zebras. Now Cody Oakes as well. Just to kind of say that, again, where our broadcast is, that's usually where the visitors are, as the Shadow fans are none too pleased. I don't think there was anything that could or could not be called at that point. But the one thing you want to say over the last couple of weeks, again, we talk about 7 power plays that the Sharks had against the Kings, didn't get 1. Now they would be 1 for 3 if they don't score. They've got to start to put all those together consecutively, as a roughing call was in that right side boards. So 19 seconds will carry over if the Sharks don't score into the second frame. Redmond. This is Nick with the puck. This is sent in behind the inboards. Papandrea lurking on the backside. He will take this one cross ice. Stick chop will at least knock it away. And this will go back to Nick Redmond. Nick Redmond leave off the back pass for Papandrea. And this has been some good forechecking here for the Shadow on the penalty kill. They're making life difficult, at least for the Sharks, to get their entries. And that's what you got to do. Start things before they get started. Carlisle and Polosha try to kitty corner near the left side as they'll work him behind the net now. Polosha send this one back to the point for Redmond, as this one will hit the right side glass and get blocked. Carlisle off the leave. It's the Shadow fighting for it and near the right side glass as we're down to 45 seconds. Kept on the right side blue line. Crisscross here for the Sharks. Looking for traffic at the net. Bounces off a stick blade. Kieran Carlisle gets the retrieval. Here's a slap shot. It bit one of the Shadow from Nick Redmond and then sent back down the ice. If that rebound was picked up, it could have been a goal. Papandrea now going to go quickly as Pilet will knock him back and flip back down. Pilet's still on the prowl here. You got Joe Gibbs. Cross ice. That's a dangerous pass there and alongside Michael Redmond. And you got some work to do if you're Joe Gibbs. Big hit by Gibbs! As this goes to the right side now for Michael Redmond. That made the Shadow pretty upset. Down to 4. This one looked in the corner, and that's how we end the first. It's a 2-1 lead for the Sharks after 20. And the Shadow didn't like that play and alongside for Gibbs. And the Shadow fans didn't like some of that physical contact either. 19 seconds of carryover time on the power play. Then we'll come back and call more. Sharks lead 2-1.
At the end of the first period, the Waterford Sharks 2, Michigan Shadows 1. Shots for the period. Waterford Sharks 20. Shadows 12. Winston Scott Sharks Club on the road at the smash contest to have each street and door for your Waterford Sharks.
It's going to take more. It's a good start.
Is it time for a haircut shave? Make your way on down to the Waterford Barber Shop. Proud sponsor of your Waterford Sharks. franchise retail. They have all your needs in store. I'll sponsor your Waterford Sharks.
The family's visit to the The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter which you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just the pizza.
Make a plan today.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? You're dead? Please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
It's been so amazing to be able to give our child the life that we kind of pictured us having, even though we didn't really have that.
I've been in foster care my whole life.
He's so strong to just be able to leave that all behind and still be able to take care of his daughter and be a good husband.
Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone.
We've been through so much in our life, and he never used that as an excuse, but as motivation to do better.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Go Live Sportscast.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
Yeah, my mom is outside.
Make a plan today.
Where's your emergency? Everyone's on the way. What happened?
So I know we're going to be expediting this as much as we can here, not for the part of the broadcast, but to speed up part of the time, because
Most
we
of my
had
family
every
never
rink
graduated
essentially
high school or
being
even let
used.
alone
So
go to college, so
the
we're trying to break
referees
that
are going to
barrier.
make their way to the
My
ice
daughter
as
Brooklyn
we
was
still
also
have this
motivation for me
Zamboni
to go back to
going
school.
on, and then we'll
It's
put
been
the
so
next
amazing
back
to be
in
able
the square
to
pegs.
give our
So
child
let
the
me get
life that
into
we
this
kind of
Facebook
pictured
post
us
and just
having,
throw
even though we didn't
across.
really have
For
that.
those that aren't following on the Go
I've
Live
been in foster care
Sportscast, my
my
name
whole
is
life.
John Ott.
He's so strong.
I'm glad
just
to be able to bring
like,
this to
leave
you
that all
again,
behind
because
and still be able
last
to
one
take
was
care
a
of his daughter
5-4
and
victory
be a
on
good
home ice
husband.
last time the Sharks played the
Every day after
Shadow.
work,
This
went
game
to
certainly
school,
feels to be
studied
that same
hard.
type of billing, but
And it
as I
paid off.
mentioned, Shadow had an equally good close to Waterford's open. So
I
after
could
the
not
first,
have
the Sharks
done it
lead
alone.
2-1.
We've been through so
Waterford
much in our
goals
life,
from Andrew
and
Polosha
he
and
never
Isaac
used that as an
Gibbs.
excuse,
Sean Pilette
but as
also
motivation
answered for the
to do
Shadow.
better.
I see the
Waterford
future's really
1
bright
for
for me.
3
High
on the
school
power
diploma is
play.
just added to the
The
confidence,
Shadow
and
did
now I
not
feel
have
unstoppable.
one in that first frame. Definitely think they probably will get
Find
the next
free adult
one if I have
education
my
classes
wits
near
about
you
me.
at
Jake Prober, number
finishyourdiploma.org.
20, the defenseman, Highland, Michigan native, was
Hey, can you talk
injured for Waterford. I'm hoping for a quick recovery near the right side boards, but we will see. There were plenty of Sharks players down, as I got the note up here that it was 20. So well wishes to Jake. We're all with you, my man, and hope that you can come back soon if you're not seeing this game. I didn't see the severity of the injury. Shots on goal were 20-12 registered for the Sharks. Ryan Smith is the netminder of the day for the Michigan Shadow. But again, it was probably 10, maybe 8 to 10 minutes there where the Waterford Sharks blitzed and looked pretty good. That backhand, though, for the Shadow, at least in the last 5 or 6, I think was equally as good. And both teams will be up to their task as far as being able to get the job done. Again, entering play today, the Sharks are only 1 point ahead of the standings. So if the Shadow win this one in regulation, that lead for the Sharks goes bye-bye. And the one thing you want to mention, too, is there is 2 more meetings after today. You got one of these at Lakeland Arena, and then the close at Big Boy on the 20th before the Sharks close their season officially the 21st at home against Muskegon. And then Waterford plays Muskegon 3 more times, including next week. So what's in front for the Shadow, and I wanted to make note of this. They've played most of their difficult games already. Again, they own that season series against Muskegon. They only got to play them one more time. We said Waterford 3 times, including tonight. But they've played the difficult games. The Sharks have not. So the Sharks really need to win head-to-head in order to secure any home ice advantage for the playoffs. If they don't, they're probably going to be starting on the road once you get into April. That's kind of what's the thought process. Again, Elijah Gibbons, if you look toward the right side in the camera shots, that was the Waterford Sharks' only banner. He was the preeminent numero uno as far as getting the job done alongside Yoakum as the backup last year. He's the backup right now for the Shadow. Bryn Sommerfeld got that call up. That's why they got Ryan Smith in the net. And again, I want to make that mention. And from this first intermission now leading into the second, check out On the Spot Sports podcast from Jack Hudak, because he just interviewed Samuel Gagnon of the Michigan Shadow. They talked about the Rockers, Prowlers, the experience in the Shadow, these guys playing together, playing with intensity, and just enjoying each other's company. They were brought in to win a championship this year. We'll see how much of that talent translates into next year, but I have no doubt that the Shadow are going to be equally good. It just depends on who they bring in, because if the Rockers end up coming back into existence next year, that could make things different as far as who's available for the Shadow. Again, these guys just want to play. Here's a chance now off the rush, and a good inside-out move attempt, but maybe avoid a knee there as it goes into the right side boards. Here's a wrister. This one blockered out in front. Sharks still got some work to do as Redmond gets knocked down in the corner. Turnaround off the rip. It's met at the net, and that is where Gillum is. He's got it. Good contact there for the Sharks a couple times to pry it loose, but stick-to-itiveness was even better there for the Shadow. It'll force an ozone draw, and we're just going to see now if the net will be put back into its pegs and moorings here. Should be no problems. We don't really need any more delays. It's been a late start. I think the Shadow have equated for the late start, but again, this time the Sharks had all the rinks used up. We all had to wait. Here's a slap shot. This one deflected. Gillum was down to knock it away. And the Sharks will thankfully at least brush this into the offensive end. Redmond going to try to find it as this was knocked away from Smith. Giuliano. There is Prober now. So that roughing, and he is back on the ice, number 20. We got those camera shots. This puck goes in between his wickets there. Shadow would have been off. But they'll get a steal now. It's a 2-on-1. They look for the wrister instead. You had Giuliano open on the back door. I don't think that was the right decision. Sharks now try to go the other way. And off the drop, see if they can score out of this chance of the night, and they do. That's what we were just thinking about. Off a missed opportunity in one end, kind of like EA NHL 26. The Sharks take the lead at 18:31. I'm going to have to get another pen out here. Oh, there we go. I had to lose that one. I need to get this marked down on the score sheet. So missed opportunity on one end, and the Sharks score. Interesting, because when you think about it, this is kind of where the score line was last week. I can't punch that enough. Kalkaska looked very good in the only meeting that was going to be here. The Shadow have always looked good. Every chance to get a chance to watch them. Deflected. There was a hit before that. Smith's going to hold on this time. My only question, and again, I don't know the general manager and operations and alongside with the Shadow, and Bryn Sommerfeld's been so good up and down the line. I've been able to get those call-ups. And alongside, I believe, for Port Huron, as this one is sent wide. But you would think if you get into the postseason, Bryn Sommerfeld, I think, has showcased himself to be the best netminder in this league, and he would play the bulk of the games. So Michael Redmond going to get an unassisted goal. But that's just my thoughts about me. I'm not going to say anything for Elijah Gibbons. He's already going to be a backup. We've known him to be a champion. If that's what they want to go with, I think that is the right call. But for Brent Sommerfeld, they got to think he's numero uno. I think all you guys would have to agree. Is picked up on the backhand now. They were going for Polosha on the back door. Otherwise, that would have been 4-1. Polosha, good avoidance. And off the drop now, here's a tip from Gibbs. Smith trying to find it now off an outstretch, but it is interesting. Every time we see them, it's a different netminder. Opportunity now for Theodore Rowell. He will spin. Have to contend to throw in the corner. The Sharks' forecheck's been pretty good. Again, they're 2-0-1 in the season series. That overtime loss was at Big Boy. They won their only one here on home ice. Kings beat them in home ice the first time last week. It was the first time they lost in home ice all year. So you want to be able to avenge it after dropping 2 of the last 3. Look for Bowman. Theodore Goody now. He's got it wrister. This one hits the glove of Smith. Again, lots of noise there from the shadow bench as it's Nick Redmond. He tries to make a move, sends this one wide on the inboards, and Goody can't hold. 16:45 left to go in the middle frame. John here with you alongside the Go Live Sportscast at Lakeland Arena on the Red Rink. Goody shoveled in the corner, gets a retrieval. It's loose out in front, looking for Gibbs, and that one got knocked away. Gibbs in the right side corner, Shaheen off the spin and turn. And then intensity from the start of the first is drawn into the second, as this one will be closed back down by Nick. Into the right side board, Shaheen, and off the rush. Good touch pass for Gibbs. Gibbs now on the prowl. There's a chance. This one goes off the stick shaft of Smith. It's loose in the slot in the shadow. Try to go the other way. Michael Clintworth with it now. Here's an opportunity to the left side. Sharks will curl it away. Ramesh has to turn around in his own end. The puck hits him up toward the jersey, and he will get this side away from Nick Redmond. Here's a chase for it now. Papandre gets a blade on it. It's work to do behind the net for Waterford, and they will get it out. Michael Redmond, he will get it for a moment, and that will force the Shadow to have to do some work on their own end. Again, they're in the road whites with the red pants and the mix of the black tops. Sharks have their Boomer jerseys with the orange, white, and black. That's their typical home fare. As it's knocked away, Gagnon now. This is in between his blade. Sharks steal. Redmond lead off the rush for Hill. He's on the right wing. He goes for the drop pass, but the Sharks are there to pick it up, thankfully. That's Hunter Keppel. Have to throw it into the corner now. This will be chipped up high into the left side. Beautiful outlet. This will give the Shadows some possession. Rister sniped it in. What a shot that was. Sam Gagnon again. That is goal number 24 on the year, and that is an absolute heat seeker. It's 3-2. So off the sauce, you got Gagnon there to the right side. That's a missile of a shot. And it's 3-2 as we're inside the first 5 minutes. Cody Oakes had to do some extra work there. The Sharks to get it away from him. Nice move. And alongside here, Gibbs. Now he's turning on some burners. Look for Polosha into the right side boards, as that will be knocked away. Pick back up and behind the end now. Sharks trying to keep this forward check going. And good work for the Shadow. Gagnon comes all the way back to clear it out. Cody Oakes again. He is really making life difficult here. Donaldson now pressed up against the left side. Gagnon already back out there. Riersi on the left side point, number 20. Sent back in behind the corner and content to get thrown back across. Donaldson tried to loop it around. Riersi can't hold. And this will be a one-on-one here for Polosha, but this will be Smith to get to it first. As this will be knocked away in the left side ball. Drika had it for a moment. And Giuliano will flip this one and switch to the end of the ice. Contested right in between the center slot is Nick Redmond. He gets hit, stays on his feet, loses the vulcanized rubber, however, and the first 6 minutes are gone. This will be rolled back down the ice and blown dead against the Shadow. So San Gagnon has made it a 1-goal game again. It's still a 3-2 lead for Waterford. Helgamo had to get rid of that quickly, and a rolling puck will be recollected now and across. Here is Ryan Rotundi having a chance to call his name. He was trying to big rig his way through the net, and that will be solved by Gillum. Now, if I'm Waterford, again, Jacob Gillum got that big win of the Frozen Fish fiasco against the Alpena 45ers. You're talking about a primary starter. Ian Morton usually has the backup, and the Rural Galong has been the secondary. That's the only time Galong, I think, has only had one start. Gillum, I would think, has to be your starter at this point as you're getting late in the year. I don't know how much more auditioning you want to do, as that was very loose and a little awkward as I say that. Helgamo now on the right side. Shaheen on the back end. Helgamo stops, spins, takes a hit. Didn't get the shot off in time. Jonathan Giuliano will just throw it in the corner. And the shadow would have been offside. So Goody will take this one from right to left. Paul Arnott, that goes too far for him. And a chance in toward the left side will be contested. Players going to come together. You got Sean Paulette out there as well. And I think that was Osentowski. It's Theodore Rowell. He gets hit pretty hard and alongside for Nick Redman. And now Michael will recollect. Back into the right side boards. Try to sauce this out of the air. Sharks didn't have a shooting lane. And the shadow will flip this one at least to center. Now for Nick Redman. Has to play this off the back bump. Looking for an outlet pass. Here is Michael Redman. He scores! Nick to Michael, brother to brother, making some magic happen. And it's 4-2.
Waterford tries goal scored by number 7. Michael Redmond, assisted by number 76. Nick Redmond. Time of the goal, 7:32 of the second period.
That is brother to brother. That it kind of reminds you of that movie Twins. Again, that was before my time with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Again, if I'm saying that there, then that's something. Are we getting Gibby coming in? The former Shark, Elijah Gibbons. Welcome to you, sir. Will be in the goal crease now. Is it a shame for me to say I secretly want him to do well at the same side, even though the Sharks have their own business to do? I think everybody really liked Elijah Gibbons. Sean Pilette. Now on the left side boards, cross pass is read by the Sharks. They try to get greedy. Can't do that there, but Gillum will bail them out. They were looking for that right up the gut. The breakout pass was not there. Shadow did steal, but Gillum makes the save. So this is Elijah Gibbons' net now, with a little over half of this game left to go. And you're going to have to take a look on that right-hand side of your screen because you know that he is going to be able to stop a lot of pucks that go his way. Do you want to see those tendencies of 16 and 61? And Elijah Gibbons should know them well. So this is going to be some automatic intrigue. Papandrea now. And on the left side boards, Riersi keeping at the point. That was deflected and fought off by Gillum. That's probably his best save of the period. 11:45 left to go in the second. We're almost halfway through regulation here. Puck has still not moved all that much. Again, Golov's going to pick that up for me. Here is Isaac Gibbs. Throws it on, and Gibbons will put it in the corner. Flip back in behind now. Josh Hill wanted it in the Ovechkin spot, but this is very contested. Hunter Keppel still able to stay on his feet now. Much of the same on the other end is now on the left side red line. Gibbs will force it loose, and then it's gloved out of the air. Shadow will take this one. Pilette off the pass, as this will be Cody Oakes, and the Sharks will steal. There's a long flip there, closed down by Hill, and Pilette will now send it into the corner. As Gillum will stop it. He had some trouble with it, but the Sharks are there to retrieve. Back check there for the Shadow was create some problems into the right side corner as Hunter Keppel can't find it. Kieran Carlisle now got some work to do behind the net. 10:40 left to go in the second. John are with you alongside the Go Live Sportscast. Cody Oakes off the one touch as he will work his way onside. High slot, gets it now on his backhand turnaround. That one just missed the net. Sharks at least gain center ice. Here's Riersi. Clapper. This one goes high. And to the right side is flipped back in behind. Joe Gibbs try to close it off. Keppel right there. Good battle near the right side board. Shadow fan on it. Here's an opportunity for Hunter Keppel if he's got speed. We'll have to spin now. He's going to get pinned against the right side glass. That could have been dangerous, but Michigan averts any danger. Flip back now. Glove down out of the air. And Theo Goody's got inside-out positioning, but here's the drop. It's wide of Gillum near the left side, picked up in the high slot. Goody gets taken down, and off the reverse hit, here's a chance and a score at 9:47. Goody never was able to pick it up after the body contact pried that loose, and we're back within one again. And as I mentioned, you got Elijah Gibbons on the other end of the goal crease, who I don't think is going to give up much. So this will be a fun finish to this game.
Shadow goal scored, number 13, unassisted. Stepping the goal, 10-13, second period.
So Sangagnon's got his second. He is on hat-trick watch, both of the Shadow goals here. Again, it was 2-1 after one. 9:35 left to go in the second. And the Sharks scored a couple there off that sauce and then rebound off of a miss, and it's 4-3. Again, I was making sure I looked up there to make sure it was a one-goal game. Want to make sure I had that about me. With 9:15 left to go in the second as I'm all over myself. This is flipped back down to the right side. Helgamo. He's got a partial break on Gibbons. Rebound, couple of saves. Trying to get thrown out in front by Cole. Back pass. Spencer Bowman. Sent back around for Cole Helgamo. Here is a turnaround. Gibbons says no with the left pad, and then he will hold. (4-3) and Gibbons made a couple big saves there. Cole Helgamo was open off the break, got his own rebound, and the door was closed. I don't think it's going to be left ajar at all. Can't say that enough. As Papandrea, this will be sent back down, and now Mayim. The Sharks did gain the red line. Able to start this one from right to left. Josh Hill lost an edge. He'll be back now for Michael Redmond. Redmond will flip ends with Papandrea. 8:30 left to go on the second. It's a one-goal game one more time. It has been nip and tuck. Michael Redmond, wrister off the outside of the net. He was looking dangerous there. Hit the ceiling, so they're going to blow it dead nonetheless. So Sharks scored off the rush. That's the one I got to get the number on. Then you have Gagnon at 15:09. And then you have the brothers combining at 12:28 for the Sharks. And then Gagnon again at 9:47. That is your reset in the second frame. That's why it sits 4-3. So that's what I'll have to get in toward the box on MIHL, just the opening goal for the Sharks in that second. We will have that in the game story. Nonetheless, at Hopo Sports Guy per usual, probably in a couple more days. I'm going to try to root for the Seahawks there in Cooper Hopkins on Sunday in the Super Bowl. We'll give him his shot out toward the end of the game. There'll be a odd man rush developing here for the Shadow as Clintworth now might be able to get a retrieval. It's picked up now near the right side. 3-on-3. Sharks find the entry here for Michael Redmond as this is sent back in behind the net. Players will come together in the left side red line. Here's a spin now for Hunter Keppel. Good stick chop there. Sharks Keppel was able to get out of the way. Gibbons don't want to get any interference, as this will be settled back down. Isaac Gibbs was doing defensive duty there. With 7:35 left to go in the second. Joining with you alongside the Go Live Sportscast in the red rink. It is one more time a one-goal game. That pass eludes Andrew Polsha as Riercy. Flip ice. Calmly here for Gagnon, but the shadow were off. They don't like it. Michael Clintworth, they're going to say, had a little bit of an edge, but that was a developing play on the right side dot for a wrister nonetheless against Gillum if it would have materialized. Sharks have had 3 power play opportunities that extended from the first. The Shadow do not have any yet. Again, I would have to think the next one would belong to them. So you got to keep things quiet if you are Waterford. Saying that openly. And the left side dot will be closed off by Donaldson. We might get a few more goals in this game, but it might be one-sided at this point now that Gibbons is in the net. We'll see. Opportunity in the defensive end. Here is Joseph Gibbs. Off the spin and turn. He's going to need some help. Into the right side boards. Trying to do it himself. He can, but he will get some reinforcements there for the Sharks. Looking for the outlet. Find the connection. And near the right side. Open cross pass. Back door attempt. What a tip. It is in. And the Sharks back up by 2. I think Nolan Baldrica is at least going to get a secondary. That was a good patient play for the Sharks. They had an opening across the right wing. It seemed like the Shadow gave that to them. They took the space that was there and then closed it off of Gibbons as Rotundi was taken for a rough ride. I at least have that marked in there for Baldrica. We'll have Zach give us the announcement as the Shadow open. Rotundi, wrister into the trapper. So I did get that one right. It's 61 and 16 combined for scoring and primary. Baldrica will get the secondary because, again, he was open on that right wing side, created the play, and off the tip, and it gave the Sharks a 2-goal lead again. It's been a really good game so far between these two. Again, anyone that's been in attendance across the red rink has been treated to a good one. This battle of M59 that the Shadow was able to have that across their game link. I love the graphic that they use. Has been top-notch. This is closed 5-hole. We don't want to get any extra late taps. The Shadow want to get their rebounds in, but when I said it in the opening from last week on Sunday, again, we couldn't cover the game at Clark Park against Alpena, but it looked a little out of character for Waterford as far as the extracurricular. Now you know who you bring in. You get Baldrica back. Got Cole Halgamo. I imagine Alex Gregorich going to come into the lineup at some point too. Keep your nose clean in this game because, again, it is only 5-3. Both these teams can still take it and score multi-goal routes on you. Now on the left side boards. Goody had it for a moment. He got Rotundi screen for Arnott. That one tipped and then saved by Gillum into the right side corner. Are we going to get a tripping call? I don't think so. Yes, we will now. So the Shadow are going to get their first power play of the game. And we'll see if it'll prove costly against the Sharks. Again, we said it right. The next one was going to go against Waterford. That one had to be called. It was a tripping infraction. I don't have any problem with it. But we knew what's going to be. You've kept your nose clean all the way to this point. You've taken us to a 2-goal lead one more time in this second frame. But can you hold it? It's a key kill upcoming for Waterford. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you this, and that's probably the reason why I'm in the part of the broadcast booth, although I like to think I do a decent job. But probably going to go to number 13 to finish it off. He's going to have to start it, though, with the face-off win, as Mayim keeps it in the left side boards. This will be punched in deep. Again, that's where my blind side is. Riercy. So Goody's the one in the box, and that is another one of the better penalty killers for the Sharks. So we'll have to see how this works. Riercy tipped, and this will be saved by Gillum in the left side red line. About 5 minutes left to go in the second frame. By the time that the Shadow get back up there, that's where we'll be. Riersi looks behind him. Nice puck protect, one hand. We'll start this one across the right wing here for Ryan Rotundi. Some specialty teams units here for the Shadow for the first time. Sharks have had 3 power plays. They're 1 for 3. This is the Shadow's first. Send this one across from Cody Oakes. Find the space across the right side wing. Goes back to the point, Riersi. Another deflection. One save of the left pad of Gillum. 1 minute left to go on the man advantage for the Shadow. Polsha trying to cover that middle. Power move to the net, and Spencer Bowman just gets a stick blade down on the ice. This will be played not to Elijah Gibbons. He thought about it. As he goes to the left side corner, too far for Sam Gagnon. That's unfortunate because at the 4:20 mark for the Shadow, they've iced it against themselves on the man advantage. Ozone draw loss. Shadow now can find some speed up the ice here, but that one just sticked away. As Paul Arnott's going to start it again. Throw it back to Riersi. Riersi, partial fan, but he'll pick it up in near the right side boards and calm things back down. 20 seconds left to go on the man advantage for the Shadow. As this is an off the touch leave toward the left side. Big body contact again and another hand in the air. Might go against the Sharks. Again, that it's away from my sight lines. But you don't want to have any more of that stuff because Prober was the one that was able to jump back into this game. I'm still looking for a jersey. That is Nick Redmond. That is working his way. At least he's under his own power, but it's a little bit ginger there for Nicholas at 3:53. And I'm looking on the right side. Adam Kuhn also down. He is holding his hand, and he threw his helmet in disgust back in behind the left side of the doors. It looks like he is going to make his way back to the dressing room. And also, who else is down? He got Riersi as well, and on the left side of his hand, who needs help off the ice. Hopefully he just lost a little bit of a skate blade. So Waterford going to get another one. Riersi was just getting some help, so he's okay. But Adam Kuhn was not. He looked like he got the worst of the contact there, and then Redmond was slow to get up Nick. But it is another penalty against the Sharks. It is a 2-man advantage for the Shadow for 15 seconds, unless they score on it here. Picked up now for Riersi, and at the point. 3:45. Let's everybody get settled here. Shadow's got to score. Arnott. On the left side, Riersi sent it to the net, and right on the trapper. That will cancel off the first, so that does do it at the right time. See Chris Donaldson now being an entrant back into the ice. For my money, this is a must score for the Shadow and a must kill for the Sharks. Riersi, good reach, keeps it in. High slot, right side blue line. This goes back to 20. James with the puck, throws it out in front. I saw what he was trying to do there up the gut. Had a lot of heat on it, just couldn't find the accuracy. Hill, short-handed flip, that one looking for Papandrea. And the Shadow hopefully didn't run into themselves. Cody Oakes, wrong guy to have it with space here as he has it in behind the net. He'll turn. He gets canceled off near the right side corner, and the Sharks will see this one get recollected here. Good stick blade. At least kills some time for Hill. Hill now gets himself some more and then smartly throws it in the glove of Gibbons, who'll calm it down behind his own net. Good work there for number 15. You got Rotundi near me as far as the play-by-play. Just finds the entry here for Oakes. His backhand again will be solved by Gillum. That's the same move he does every time you come up and down the ice. You want to try to pick up on those tendencies. You have to imagine as Rotundi hit hard. Goody had some words with that. And now Rotundi and Goody want to go after each other. They say, hey, the play's still going on here. Gillum's got it between his legs. So Goody's still going after Rotundi. They want to fight. Are we going to get one is the question. Goody not backing down. You know Ryan Rotundi's not going to. Is it going to get spicy or not? Again, it was in front of us, and this has been some fun. But this is where I talk about from the first, now late in the second, where the Sharks were able to keep their nose clean. They have not so far at the end of the second. You cannot let this continue because the Shadow will not only find a way to tie it, they could win it outright. You gotta stay even strength here. You could give the extra to Theo Goody in my mind after that cross check, a little bit more talking there to Rotundi. We'll see what the Zebras want to do. Right now I see 3 Sharks on the ice. Yeah, so they gave the extra to Goody, and then they gave another one to Rotundi for offsetting. So 29 seconds of a man advantage here for at least the Shadow. We got 4 Sharks now on the ice as Papandrea joins in on the fun. So 29 seconds will be the offset before we go back to even, if I have that one correct. Kieran Carlisle was trying to find it near the left side corner, and this is just knocked out for Jonathan Giuliano. Throw this back to the point. Giuliano going to find the entry now. Pawolsha trying to work toward the right side just to play step for step. Mayhem, Clapper, deflected off the blade of Gillum. And the power play set to expire. Sharks don't concede, but they still got some defensive work to do. Mayhem's got it. He fanned on it badly, and it is Baldrinka! He hits the glass. This one bounces back in play, however, but it will belong to the Shadow and near the right side board, so we'll get it out. Theodore Rowell goes away from him. And nice play as this goes back to Theodore. Good move. He'll find some work toward the left side. And back in behind the net as this will be picked up there from Mike Moroso. That number 43 that doesn't have the jersey name on it. That's how I'll remember it. Sent back from Schmidt. And across the ice for Riersi. Riersi loves those sauce passes. He's got some soft hands. As Cole Helgamo now. He's got a fresh change. He was looking for Aaron Shaheen. I've liked that line so far. And you notice as soon as Cole Helgamo comes back onto the ice that good things happen as far as the Sharks win the game. He goes for a good old-fashioned hip check, but offsides are the Sharks. It's good to see Shaheen one more time back with the Waterford Sharks. Been a long-time veteran and champion. Nick Redmond going to play some backhand work. And Spencer Bowman, and off the tie-up, this will actually go to Gibby, so it's going to force an O-zone draw. I will speak for everybody and say hopefully this will be the latest start time that we will have. And across anything else for the broadcast, I imagine for the playoffs, especially Muskegon, they'll like to keep those ones late, but this probably will be. With the Sharks, there was a lot of work to do on that ice, a lot of games being played. Nick Redmond into the right side corner, and the Sharks here for Cole Helgamo. Keep this one for Shaheen, bounces off the blade. Race now for Riersi. Gibbons will take no chances. He will hold. We'll see if the Sharks and Tyler Groth will like to keep that same line out there because they have their changes in the O-zone draw. Looks like Nick Redmond going to stay out, but the forward group will swap. So Michael Redmond will take the right wing. Josh Hill try to win it right to him. This bounces in between the Nick's skate blades and back around for Josh Hill. Redmond, quick pass. Redmond shoots. This one goes off the stick of Gibbons. Intercepted though. Sharks steal at the net. Gibbons fights it off. 5 seconds left. Shadow got to shoot it if they want a chance. Backhand. They want a save by Gillum as we end the second frame. 5-3 after 40. What a game we've had so far. There's still tons left to decide. come back, won't you? We got the third period next. Sharks lead by 2.
Hey, let's go, boys! Come on! Go!
Chapter Porno. Nope. I'm hot.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Make a plan today.
Where's your emergency? Everyone's on their way. What happened? Dad, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
It's been so amazing to be able to give our child the life that we kind of pictured us having, even though we didn't really have that.
I've been in foster care my whole life.
He's so strong to just be able to like leave that all behind and still be able to take care of his daughter and be a good husband.
Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone.
We've been through so much in our life, and he never used that as an excuse, but as motivation to do better.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple?
Chop the porno. Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Okay. You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Live Sportscast.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes.
Make a plan today.
shout out to Cooper or no?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to do that here. As we got about a minute left to go in the second period. Again, if everything is still with us here, as we still got the Zamboni going across, we'll give our shout-outs as far as the rest of this period. Again, you have the Redmond brothers combined, and for a key goal, that 61-16 connection has worked quite well for the Waterford Sharks. Again, it is a 5-3 lead for them. It was a couple of big kills as the Shadow had an opportunity for a 5-on-3 in that middle frame a couple of times. Elijah Gibbons now the new goaltender of record for the Michigan Shadow. Sharks entering this Battle of M59 2-0-1 in the season series. They've gotten at least a point in every game. They're going to need to get a full 2 to go back to 3 in the standings. If not, the Shadow will catch them with a regulation win today. Sam Gagnon scores a couple times, and that is why we sit at 5-3. It is anybody's contest. I do want to let you know, as an update afar from myself, again, I'm not going to be on LTIR. We are going to finish out the year, but when I did go to the doctors to kind of clear out a little bit of an ear infection, just got the medication and everything else over the last couple of days, be set on that for a month. But vertigo, found out to have that, and it's like 9 out of 10 as far as being severe. That's not going to clear up probably until summer after this season's done. So I got some work to do on the men for myself, but we're not going to miss any of these calls. Happy to be here and we'll be able to get the job done. As far as Mr. Cooper Hopkins, my friend, I'll just give you the shout out now as we're getting a chance to start this third period. I'm going to say it, since TB12 is no longer a member of the New England Patriots, I am free in the household to root for the Seattle Seahawks. So we have to say it that way. So the Mariners couldn't get the job done, but the Seahawks will. I got them winning at least by 7 tomorrow. Again, I think the spread is at 4.5, but I think the Seahawks will win. It might be a little bit teeth-chattering at the time. Drake May is going to get his time, but it's not now. Sam Darnold and company will finish the job. And Cooper Hopkins, I hope you're doing well, my friend. I know we'll catch up soon, pretty much after when the NHL starts again at the end of February. Shots on goal were registered as 35-32 Shadow after 40. And I did get the actual note. I want to get this as well on the phone as far as a friend shout out, because I just got this across my Facebook, and I want to make sure that I put that in as far as for those listening in on the broadcast. I want to say thank you to Ty Dawson. He says, "Hey John, watching your coverage of the Sharks game currently, good buddy of Jacob Gillum. Would love to hear you start referring to him as what most buddies call him, G-Will. Excellent job on the call and go Sharks." So yeah, I'll definitely shout out G-Will throughout this game a few more times, and if he gets that W. 5-4 was the last final that the Sharks had here against the Shadow in the Red Rink at Lakeland Arena. It's 5-3 now, and I think we're going to see a lot more goals than that. So thank you for the kind words. I humbly appreciate it. We're going to get set for a center ice draw. Captain C. Spencer Bowman takes it, and the third period is underway. Sharks trying to get a big 2 points. Shadow trying to answer as well. Cole Hogamo now chasing him behind the end boards, number 71. Rough ride near the right side glass as we got some Shadow fans on our end circling in. Cody Oakes on his backhand. Try to loop it in the middle of a slot, but the Sharks will get there. A couple of windmill stick chops. Good diving play there for Michigan, and trying to get a sell job to the right side boards. You don't blame that because the next power play could be big. Shadow had a couple opportunities, they didn't score. Sharks had 3, they scored on one of those. Opportunity now, Helgamo. He goes for a cross ice feed, and that was knocked away from Shaheen, who then lost an edge. And it is Oakes. He's on sides, toe drag across the middle, and G. Will's got that at 19:09. I want to say thank you as well to the Michigan Independence Hockey League and the Michigan Shadow. I know that everybody's got an opportunity to hear different calls alongside Go Live Sportscast, and some people have their own crews and this and that. But I'm always thankful for the kind words and thankful that you guys are able to share the link across that, because they refer to Lakeland as the frozen tundra. Here is Reursi. That's their words, not mine. As it's picked up for Nolan Baldrica. And this will be, and on the back check, good work there as Carlisle tried to find Polosha. And open on the right side corner for Jonathan Giuliano. In between a couple of blades, Giuliano's rebound will get shoved in the corner, but the Shadow's still with it. Cross ice. Turnaround chance will hit the netting, and we'll see what happens here into the right side boards. Bodies don't come together. Reursi tries to pinch. That could be bad news. Sharks will see on the right side. Here's a cross. They couldn't find Papandrea. Polosha will get the retrieval in the left corner as we got 18:20 left to go in the third. Sent back in behind the horn and closed back down. Shadow look to start again from right to left. Again, they are in the road whites with the red pants and the black on the top. The Sharks, this will be held by Gillen. Sharks will be in their customary home jerseys with the black and the Shark in the front with the orange and the white. It's going to force an ozone draw off the hold for the Shadow. We got Zulkanic. Paulette is actually going to play some defensive work. They try to win that one probably straight back in for a shot. Then we'll go to Mayam and back down to Polar or not. 17:50 left to go in the third. John Ott's my name alongside the Go Live Sportscast. You can always follow me at John Ryan Ott. We got Olympic coverage next week starting at 10:30 in the morning. And behind for Michael Redman as it's flipped back in behind the end boards, and the Sharks look to take this one up ice. It is Michael with a nice toe drag. Work his way behind the net. He's still with it on the right side, red line off the drop, and Donaldson knows it's not getting to him, so he will smartly just caddy corner this. Right up the gut now. He's back off the glass and behind the net of Gillum. As this will be recollected on the right side board. Stick chop not out. Sharks look for this back pressure as Joseph Gibbs off the spin and turn. As Osentowski has his chance deflected off a Shark stick blade. Here's Michael. Work his way, avoid a hit. It's Spencer Bowman can't hold the line, and Theodore Rowell's pass will get knocked away as it's picked up now by Nick Redman. He had to get away from a stick blade as this is canceled off towards center ice off the glove of Gillum. Into the right side corner, Spencer Bowman chip it off the glass. The other captain, Cian Reursi. Soft hands like number 88, Patrick Kane for number 20. Recollected now for Cole Halgamo. Certainly had his chances. Might get one more. Left side shot gets deflected and brushed into the corner. Reursi will watch this one go in behind the net. Shadow looking to break out the long way. Closed down by Nick Redman. Nice little stutter step. Gets out of the way. Gains entry across the left wing. Slows up. Stuck into a spin. And he had to give up puck possession there near the left dot. 4 minutes have about expired in the third here. Sharks still lead by 2. Theodore Goody will be into the glove hand of Gibbons. The former Shark champion now, the backup netminder for the Michigan Shadow. Again, I said this in my open when he took over about the halfway point in favor of Ryan Smith that I want to see him do well, but you know the Sharks have their own business to do. But that breakaway couple stops he had on number 2, Cole Halgamo, I think is going to stand the test of time because Sharks certainly could be up by 3 or 4. Papandrea knew he had a chance, and delay a game might be the call when I saw Papandrea's facial expressions. We'll see what they want to do here. At 15:52, I was looking at that might be close, but I think Papandrea is going to be clean here. I still see 5 Sharks on the ice. And I'm looking to see on the left end for Reursi. They want a call. I don't know if they're going to get one. They're still talking about alongside Cody Oakes, saying it was flipped out of play. Kieran Carlisle is going to win it. And then we'll start this again in through neutral. Players come together, and Nolan Baldrica picked up across the backhand. Sam Gagnon on the hat trick watch. Polosha the same way as well, but Polosha's team's up by 2. This is flipped in across the glass. This shot actually bounced off Polosha, but he could be gone up the gut. He got turned around on the backhand and then tied up off the stick. Papandrea on his back skate He meets Ryan Rotundi. That pass partially blocked. Papandrea tried to step up. And now get the steal there. Good work for Polosha. Knock it off the glass. Opportunity for Baldrica. He's looking for Polosha. Cross-ice feed. Canceled off nicely by Michigan. Shadow still working with it, though. Baldrica into the right side corner. This will be flipped back down. Donaldson wants an exaggerated slapper, but it is Kieran Carlisle walk in and miss. Recollected off the right bumper here. Turnaround with the traffic goes wide as well. As this is sent back across the left side corner. Polsha, hopefully just a little bit slow to get there off of taking a shot block. Here is Cody Oakes. He'll get it stick chopped away in a retrieval and sent back around for Cody. Now Cody has some words with the referee. He's not letting that go away. He might get called for misconduct. They might throw him back and across the sin bin here because he was really chewing out the zebra into the right side corner. He's probably still a little heated as far as what he thought was a delay of game. And I'm only saying that from what I'm seeing on my sight lines across center ice, but that had to be it. I think the Sharks are going to get a power play here for too much talking from Cody Oakes. Abusive and official sometimes can be the call, and I think that's what we got. Because he got really heated into that right side red line, and that's what I thought I picked up. This will be an ozone draw win, and then up into the players' bench, so we'll stay here. So no problems there. We'll just stay on the right-hand side. Sharks do get a key power play here. They're already up by 2. They score here. That could be gigantic. We'll see if Josh Hill is going to get set to take it again. He will do so. This is off the tie-up. It's still loose. And the Sharks will find it. Papandrea will hunt the puck. Back in behind for Hunter Keppel, I believe that is, number 23. We flip back around for Hill. He's got it on the right side of red line, back to the point. Nick Redmond's the open man. They sauce it to him beautifully, and then this bounces off a stick blade into the left corner. Sharks working with this in behind the net of Elijah Gibbons, and they'll throw it out of play at 13:58, so still stay in the offensive zone. G-Will's just trying to stay warm on the other end. We'll get some full sail changes here. And I don't know if the music system alongside, here we go. Trying to get that one back in. Otherwise I was thinking it was a little too silent. Kieran Carlisle. This will be one in the left side corner. Donaldson on his back skate. There's a pinch in at the line. Giuliano tries to fight it through, and this will go in between the legs of Gibbs. Closed down by Gillum. And Joseph has got it. 13:40 left to go in this third. My name's John, out here with you on the call in the Red Rink at Lakeland Arena. Sharks trying to go 3-0-1 in the season series. Still 2 more meetings. Picked up on the backhand by Carlisle. Throws it in the high slot. Donaldson, one more one-timer fan down, partially blocked. And at the net, Gibbs has it. Sends it toward the net, blocked again. Gibbons was swimming in the goal crease. Donaldson. He elects for the cross pass near the right dot. Gibbs slows it down. Donaldson's got it in the high slot. Good shooting lane. That one fought off by Gibby into the corner. Glove down nicely by Donaldson. Can't get it out of the shadow. Carlisle. Back to Chris now. Crisscross. Right side dot one-timer. That one goes wide of the left glass. 25 seconds left to go. The man advantage. Rolling puck. Not out again. It's Donaldson. The Shadow fans growing impatient. Baldrica works it toward the right side dot. Waterford still with possession. Here is Polsha. 10 seconds left to go on the power play. Hits the netting. So we'll stay here again. Either way, you have to say it. The Sharks have had a good power play because they've kept puck possession here, and they're starting to take time off the clock against Michigan. I know it's only a 2-goal deficit for them, but that becomes big at this point in the game. We said the last win for the Sharks here against the Shadow was 5-4 in regulation. They're leading 5-3. Again, Ryan Smith was your starter. About the halfway marker, it's now Elijah Gibbons. Power play has expired. Papandrea off the step up. Good play under duress. It's Aaron Shaheen who gets smoked in the right side corner. Got to get back now. Don't know if the Shadow are going to be able to do anything as they lose an edge and begrudgingly throw it into the corner as this one's sent back down the ice. And icing will be the call against Waterford. 12:06 left to go in the final frame unless we need more. Now again, I said this going into the third period at the 5-3 score. I thought we would get more goals, but this one's starting to be batten down the hatches here. And it wouldn't surprise me if we get into April, into early portion of May, if these two teams meet again, and MIHL South as early as the semifinals. If the Board of Governors have their way, we'll still do North and South. Kalkaska Kings have been the top of the mark. I see no reason why they wouldn't make it to the finals unless there's a monumental upset between the Saints or the 45ers, but I just can't see that happening at this point. Gagnon lost an edge. Mike Redmond off the cross pass. This goes off the glove of Gibbons and then wide. I had to turn around again. And that one did go wide. Look for the outstretched pass. Redmond steals. Sharks on side. He gets bumped hard. 3-on-2 now for the Shadow. Gagnon's open on the right wing. He works his way toward the net. That one goes above it. Settle back down now. Oaks on the prowl. Sharks try to get it out of their own end. Pass up the gut, easily read by Riersi. Not a good read there for Waterford as Riersi's got it. And we'll send it in behind the end boards. Shadow off the pinch, keep it in, and this will get in the blue line. So they got to check back up now. Cody Oaks, quickly, ton of speed. Nice move, Cody Oaks, try to set it up, and this goes back to Nick Redmond. He gets muscled into the corner, and this will be backhanded down deep of the net of Gillum. Up the gut now for Michael Redmond. Makes two, miss. Redmond now, Sauce, goes off the tip of Hill and picked up now by Nick. 10:30 left to go in the third. Nick Redmond, patient. Try to turn on the burners now and chip it off the left side of the grass for Nolan Baldrika. Find the retrieval now. You got Kieran Carlisle there. Be the first to get to it as we're almost halfway through the third. Cross ice feed, a bounce off the right side glass. Baldrika get the retrieval. Work his way on the toe drag. Partially blocked. Polusha try to fight it off. And he will pick it up on his backhand. Send in the left corner again. That's where the blind spot is. Hopefully they pick it up as this gets deflected from Gibbons. Settle back down now for Polusha, who's got puck possession. Sharks still lead by 2. Again, a 5-3 was our score line after 2. No goals yet to tell you about in this third as Gibbons played into behind his own net. Kuhn will chase toward the right wing side, work his way in front of the net, but the Sharks do steal. Cole Hogamo is cheating a little bit for offense as this will be settled back down. Not going to touch now. They want the Shadow to get a long outstretched pass from 100 as this just eludes Paulette. He will pick it up off the second effort, muscled in the corner. Slap shot, Gillum makes the save. Riersi plays it on the line and sent this one back in as Paulette now shoved in the right side corner. See if the Shadow can try to sell anything for a call in front of the referees because you know that they want one if they can get it at this point. Shaheen in a battle with Roel as this goes toward the middle of the slot. And Bowman too far for him as this goes back to Donaldson in the Sharks' end from 150. Right up the gut's a good one. Hunter Keppel smartly off the glass. Now he's got to go chase against Riersi as this is sticked away. Hogamo trying to get to it. Papandrea, this bounces in between his stick blades, but a good read will give the Sharks possession across the right wing. Flip back around the end boards now for Waterford. Time is starting to be of the essence here, and Waterford, as we said throughout this game, second period of the back half got a little sloppy, but this one has been smart from the first and the third for keeping puck possession and keeping your nose clean, and you got to do that against a team like this. Can't say it enough. Papandrea in his own end. I'm not going to look at that too much like a machine gun as far as the time, but we know we're starting to get closer to that. Hill, the outlet doesn't hit, and now the Shadow are offsides. 7:53 left to go here in the third period. 10:36 Eastern time. Again, we were supposed to start at 8:30, but the red, blue, and I hope and think there is a gray rink. It's been a while since I looked over there. We're all being used, and there was really no parking. So we roughed that one out in the cold weather. Again, it's colder outside than it is in here, regardless of what the shadows say. Flip back in behind the inboards now. From a Kieran Carlisle face-off win, Pusha was the one that did it. Carlisle had this one bounce off his skates. Pulsha tried a one-hand tuck that to get in the offensive zone. That would have been pretty disgusting. And Theo Goody, running around his own end, is going to give right to the shadow. And we'll see what goes off this pull ball play, looking for a back pass. Carlisle was there. Here's a sauce feed for Pulsha. He will find it onside. Work his way toward the net, force Gibbons into a save at 7:18. Just happy to be back here on the call in a primetime matchup like this. Again, next week, 5:30 Saturday against the Muskegon Voyagers. I think they were winning big against the Warhawks. They'd go 5 for 5 in their homestand. Again, they would draw, I think, 1 point behind the Shadow if the Shadow lose in regulation. Kuhn on his backhand as players will get knocked out. It's loose in the slot now. Mayhem shoots, deflected again. Who's going to get to it first? Spencer Bowman, running out of gas, at least dives at the center. Halgamo gets bumped into, and now there's a rush. Chance for Moroso. It's loose again. The Sharks do get it out. Shaheen got Halgamo with them. That's too far for Cole. And we get some changes on the fly. This will go back to the Sharks and Donaldson. 6:36 left to go in the third. Are we getting a call here? I'm going to look down at my roster sheet a little too soon. 10:38 left to go. 10:38, I should say, time-wise. Eastern Standard, 6:36 left to go. Apologize for looking down at the sheet. Looks like an ozone draw here for Waterford. You got Nick Redmond, Chris Donaldson, and Joseph Gibbs. So just an ozone draw, standard at that. Somebody jumped too early, but not going to kick anybody out of the circle. This will be won by the Shadow. And off the forehand toss. Sharks try to get possession. They picked up now off the rush. Theo Ruel. Theo fires it on. He gets it hard to do so. And coming over to say some words, and alongside in defense of his teammate, is Josh Vermeech. He's one of the ones that shared the stream. He wants to have some niceties to the Sharks. They might be called for some extra here. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a bad time to take a penalty. No time's a good time, but probably going to get one here. That looks like Michael Redmond going to the sin bin. So Michael is indeed going to sit for two. And the Shadow, I know I said it once late in the second, mean it now. They've got to score here to get this back to a one-goal game. Can definitely do so at any point. Donaldson try to get it out. That's a one hell of a clear there for Chris Donaldson, as this will go back now to Elijah Gibbons. It's been tough for Elijah coming in because he's been excellent. It's just he's not going to be in line for the win. He'd be in line for, I think, a loss at this point because it was 5-3 after two. He should be the goaltender of record. As it's picked up near the right side, closed 5-hole by G. Will. 5:52 left in the third. I said it from the first, but I do think when we get toward April into May, you're going to see Gillum in the goal crease as the primary. Again, they brought in Gillum and Morton this year. We talked about what the Shadow did from the Prowlers to the Rockers to this, bringing them all in there and trying to win a title and having supreme talent. And they got Bryn Sommerfeld on the other end when it comes to it as well. Deflected back in behind the net. Papandrea keeping his head up, and Polsher trying to keep this to the outside. A little bit of a soft forecheck here. Rotundi's going to have some point time. This is another save that Gilman can make. He was able to see it all the way, no screen. 5:30 left to go in the third. $1.05 left to go in the third power play for the Shadows. So the power play numbers starting to get pretty even. I think the Sharks have 4, the Shadow have 3, but that's off the top of the dome. And I don't think I have that one 100%. D-zone draw. See if Waterford can win it. They can get it straight to Arnott. He can let a cannon go, as this will be tied up and chipped but not out. Sharks do have possession, have some trouble with it a couple times. Off the clearing attempt, this will be kept alive to the left side point and then kiss wide. Arnott try to pick it up off the back skate. Shadow do have it as it goes back to Paul. Cross ice feed. Try to get the traffic in front of Gillum, and he's been strong on this kill so far with 5:03 left in the third. This battle of M59 needs a netminder that can stand on his head, and Gillum's doing the job right now. Time's starting to become a factor if it wasn't already. But the Sharks still got work to do with 38 seconds left in the third power play for the Shadow. Tie up. Not out as this one goes into the right side corner. Shadow will watch this one bounce back to Paul. He'll take the pass across the right wing. Jonathan Giuliano, and one more time. Here's Gillum as the save counter's starting to add up. If this was sort of any NHL hits, and I know I'm dating myself back from GameCube, you would start to see those players get on fire. If you haven't played NHL hits, it's like NBA Jam, and it's about as good of a hockey game as you can get because the EA ones aren't great. Now to the left side corner, another face-off win for the Shadow. This is Moroso sending it across and then up in the netting. No mistake of what the Shadow are trying to do. Get the extra traffic out in front and tip it past Gillum, but that one hit the netting. Time for a D-zone draw win if you're Waterford, huh? We'll see. One again by the Shadow and toward the left side glass. And that's been out there the whole way. They'll just remain in behind the end boards. And here's Reursi Clapper. That was a sacrificial block for the Sharks. Nick Redmond. That doesn't go to him. Reursi got all day. He shoots. Deflected. And if the Sharks can get this one to Michael Redmond out of the box, that would have been something. Now this is in the left side corner. And the Zebra had to duck out of the way. Sharks right to left. We'll see how much of that they do in this third period with a 2-goal lead. As we do not get an icing, Mayhem will touch. Back around kitty corner for Reursi. Looking for Theo Roel. Good read for Papandrea. Gets the steal and content to dump it in as he should be. Sharks need to be able to hold a 2-goal lead with this much time left, because when you're playing against a team like this in April and May, you're going to see them in the semifinals. You got to be able to know how to win tight games. Losing 2 of the last 3, as we said, poor taste in their mouth. You want to keep it clean in the first and third. They did, a little bit sloppy late in the second, but I thought they brought the energy today. This one high away from Gibbons, back in behind the net, 3:25 left to go in it. John out here from the Red Rink and Lakeland Ice Arena. It's a pleasure to have you along. We've been on the edge of our seat the whole way through. Iced against the Shadow. Both teams still got a TO available should they want to take it. And it looks like we might get this game done before 11 Eastern as long as there's no OT. Gibbons, you would think about another minute, could be leaving the goal crease. Normally that doesn't happen a lot in the MIHL, but we did see it alongside last week for the Sharks when they were down against the Kings. Kings did score with the extra attacker. As it's sent back in behind the inboards now, Carlisle to Papandrea. Smartly spins back to buy more time. Reconnect toward the left side boards. And Gibbons will have to go back in behind his net to play it. 2:40 left to go in the third. Shadow don't want to fall 3-0-1 in the season series because they get 2 points. They'll be first in the South. Paulette on his backhand. He needs some help. He'll circle it back around now. Shadow trying to look for a perfect play. They just need something. This will bounce and hit the ceiling. And that's what I'm thinking about now. They just need shots. If you're the Shadow, you can't try to 100% this thing at this point. There's not enough time. If you want number 19 and Cody Oakes to be your driver for defense, that would not be a surprise. Michigan indeed will take their timeout, so we imagine number 19 going to stay on the ice. That would also be the same thing for Gagnon and Reursi. They're not going anywhere at this point right now. Those are the most dangerous guys that you got. Gillum going to get an extra breath. The only worry there, he's been so good in this third, you don't want to ice him out with this timeout, but he has been lock and key that the Sharks have needed. I'm not going to say they've lacked it throughout the entire year, but considering the magnitude of this game and what would have happened to the Sharks where they have lost this one in regulation, I thought Gillum has been more than solid. I would say that this has been his best game. Gibbons has done his job since he's coming from the goal crease for the Shadow. So no blame for him. He shut the door about as much as he could. And now there was some words exchanged and alongside toward Gibbons, maybe what they would want to do as far as a longer breakout pass and say, hey guys, I'm going to pinch more toward the opposite side of the blue line. Be ready to play it with the stick shaft. Vermeech now doing the same thing. I think that is what they're trying to keep away, or maybe they'll also let them know when they want him to vacate the goal crease for the extra attacker. Just some things to think about. Rimmed around the end boards and just out. This will be played, and I think we'll stay at least neutral zone, if not more. Might be back in the Sharks' end. 2:15 left to go in the third. No goals to tell you about in the final frame, but it's still 5-3. Bowman gets set to take this one against Gagnon. And the Sharks will clear it pool ball style down the ice, and they did not gain the red. If you're going to pull the netminder, it would be my thought if I'm the coach now. You get an icing here and an ozone draw. This is the time to do it, is it not? That's what I would do if I was the Shadow. Gagnon gets set to take another one. As this is recollected to the left side corner here for Michigan. Reursi got a lane to shoot. He slaps it. This goes off the stick of Gillum. And flip back down and out now. And Reursi, I thought it was out. He flips it across and keeps it in. And the Sharks beautifully gloved down. Gibbons can't leave the crease as you get a Holgamo rocket. This one goes back in behind. Bowman. See if the Sharks can kill more time. 90 seconds, getting close, left in the third. Sharks still up by 2. Breakout pass, Cody Oakes. Again, Matt mentioned that. It's the one you got to keep an eye on. Holgamo gets upended. This will at least get to center. Holgamo slow to get up. That will force a whistle. Don't know if that was a knee-to-knee as I was watching that one live. But at least buy time to get the best of your personnel out that you trust to hold on to a 2-goal lead. Gamesmanship. So it is a Shadow penalty. And the Sharks are in really good standing here unless they make a cataclysmic mistake. Ozone draw upcoming. And that penalty was the infraction against Holgamo, who got hit pretty hard. So really, just manage the vulcanized rubber here and be mindful of those breakouts that the Warhawks have done so well against the Sharks. Backhanded, and then a swing and a miss. Again, MLB The Show 26 is coming out, but you don't want to see that there. Here's Paulette for Sam Gagnon. Rister hits the netting. And we got 65 seconds left. The Sharks could go up 3-0-1 in this season series. The Shadow have had the Voyagers number. I can't say Waterford's had their number because the games have been close, but the results are the results. Ozone draw for Michigan. Gagnon trying to help in off the tie-up, and the Sharks will get it. Here's Boldrika. Will protect on the backhand. Take a wrister on. It's fought off by Gibbons near the right side of the post. He's working behind the net with the Sharks. It's a good time to have a power play, and that's what the Sharks have with a 2-goal lead in the final minute. Shadow fans want blood at this point, but again, you could think about that more than the 2 points. I think that's the wrong decision. You get the reset from last week Sunday against Kalkaska. Sharks had played the better game, and they played a strong first to start, a strong second, and they've kept it quiet here in this third. That's why I mentioned the way you think it's going to go. Cody Oakes now going to get set to leave. I wonder if he got tossed. Bowman going to take the ozone draw for the Sharks. They're a point up in the MIHL South, tied with the Kalkaska Kings for the best record at 12-3-1. Should the Shadow lose, they'd be 12-5, and the Sharks would be 13-3-1. The regular season for the Sharks will get set to end on March 21st. That's a Saturday, unless there'll be some makeups. The makeups will belong in between the Sheboygan Wendigo, who have folded. Kalkaska's got a couple games the following week. Slashing call against the Shadow, as this will be sent back down. Gagnon still had an excellent second period, but that's the last time they scored. Here's Shaheen, always dangerous. Shaheen, wrister, just missed the middle of the right mesh. 12 seconds left to go in the third. The Waterford Sharks are going to do it again. They win 5-3 over the Shadow, take a big 2 points, and they go up 3 points in the MIHL South, improved to 3-0-1 in the season series. They got one more meeting here before the game at Big Boy Arena on March 20th on a Friday. That will be the last week of the season when the Shadow and the Sharks beat there. But still, big win for the Sharks again. It was commanding through the start of the first and into the second. It was a good close for the Shadow in the first, but that's really all it was. You had the Sam Gagnon experience in the second, but the Sharks take it. They keep the third quiet. They win 5-3. We'll see you next week when the Sharks take on the Muskegon Voyagers, and then we're off for a month. That game will be Saturday at 5:30. Another one at Lakeland Ice Arena. This is John Ott signing off for the Go Live Sportscast. Sharks win, and they improve first place in their standings. 3 points up now. They win 5-3.